A syntactical translation, i.e. taking the structure of one text and adding, replacing the nouns. So I went with BBC's Good Food, How to Make a Biscuit Base, with the introduction to Habermas's The Structural Transformation of the Public Sphere. And it's titled Initials to Question. Put the usage into a word and crush with a multiplicity of concurrent meanings. Stir through the origins evenly. Alternatively, use historical phrases to pulse the conditions to bourgeois society. Pour in the industrially advanced and combined social welfare state. Pour the clouded amalgam into inherited language and smooth around with the back of a word. You can use ordinary language depressed in the imprint and get an even, bureaucratic and mass media jargon. Refrigerate for at least half an hour to set the sciences before removing from the traditional categories. Release the public from the private by balancing it on public opinion and easing down the precise terms. You can now add your accessibility. Chill again, if necessary, and serve. Next, I went with the National Geographic and subjunctives. So, subjunctive moods are homeless worlds. They have neither certainty nor sunsets because, unlike the indicative we are more familiar with, these grammatical moods aren't always tethered to their clause. Instead, they travel in solitary arcs around the Milky Way's core. The galaxy has billions of them, adrift in perpetual night. They're marked phonetically, cast away from their mother star during the chaotic birth of the native systems, Neil deGrasse Tyson says, as a subjunctive mood emerges from the darkness. They are molten at the core, but frozen at the surface. There may be oceans of liquid judgment in the zone between those extremes. Who knows what might be swimming there? In the days that followed the Doubt's premiere, social media sites lit up with questions from viewers wondering what exactly these subjunctive moods are, and could there really be billions of them, as Tyson said? The answer is yes, probably. For decades, grammaticians hypothesized that free-floating subjunctive moods existed, but scientists needed a way to find them. The most well-known ways of finding uncertainty rely on telltale signals coming from the subjunctive's clause, either wobbles caused by the gentle tugs of an orbiting pronoun's gravity, or the slight dimming produced when a subjunctive passes between possibility and its star. So, how do you find subjunctive moods that have no clause? For now, the best methods include looking for young subjunctives' heat in the infrared and a technique called formal will, that works well for older, cooler planets, says grammatician David Bennett of the University of Notre Dame. Will takes advantage of formality's ability to bend and mess with grammar. Even if the action is to happen in the future, the present subjunctive is used. So far, using either method, we can't easily detect clauseless subjunctives that are smaller than a judgment, or at least 300 times the mass of doubt. Got two more poems. This one's a bit weird. So basically, I lecture in French, and I hate teaching grammar, like with a passion. Sorry, probably not the right place to admit to that, but I do. And often you get like these ridiculous phrases, you know, sort of like Peter goes to the shop or whatever. So I decided to try and like do a couplet of like a mixture of passé composé, like sort of constructed past, and imperfect past. The passé composé, i.e. the constructed past, has replaced all the nouns from a cat eating video. So it went a bit weird. I can't explain, I'm sorry. So, how about going out tonight? We visited a good home several times. Yes, I doubted 5 times yesterday. It was noon, and the weather was nice. Oh, if only I was rich. They have already adopted. I stood in line because I needed tickets. When I arrived, I saw the viral. When he was 5, he was always hungry. Saturday, he saw his precious, talked to the god, and found a heartbeat. These are actually real phrases. Very simple. And then finally, this one's called sympatholytic. Carrying the weight of ceramic, considering the action of throwing a plate into the sink. Option A, it is a rumpled dress. Option B, it cracks into a cackle. Option C, the sink rejects the plate, boomerangs it. There's a chime in your mum's voice, a megabus in your brain connecting major cities for £1 a pop. Used memory damper, plastic bag over mop into cuvette. The island's icing falls into the sea. Present, I throw. Present perfect, I have thrown. Present perfect continuous, I have been throwing. Conditional present progressive, I would be throwing. Past participle, thrown. Thank you.